Hi, I'm Mike Deming, owner and founder of the Pro Membership Sweepstakes. I also founded the Sportsman's News, which was the official publication of Sportsman's Warehouse. So over the last 20 years of doing that, I've set up thousands of rifles, I've burned thousands of rounds of center fire ammo, and I get asked tons and tons of questions about how to set up a rifle, how to break in barrels, how to do all the stuff that I do for a lot of customers each and every year. So I thought it's finally time. We're gonna build a 4-part series that we're gonna go through barrel break-in, tall target tests, we're gonna go picking a load with factory ammo, and then we'll go load development out to 800 yards. That'll be a great 4-part series that teaches you everything you need to know to get your gun on target and hitting stuff downrange to 800 yards and beyond. All right, well, welcome. We're ready to roll into phase 4 of our long range training here. So what we've done is we've taken all the data that we've got, and part of that data that we get with the Garmin is the muzzle velocity. On the back of the box, it says this ammo, which shoots really good, says 2,925 feet per second. Actually, we're about 50 feet per second lower than that. So if we were to plug that in and at long range, we're gonna be pretty far off, maybe a missed target. So that's why it's good to have all the stuff and do exactly what we're going to do here. We've got targets at 400, 500, 600, and 800. So we've got a starting point. We're gonna start shooting, see if that data is accurate, and we are gonna get real world data, which is exact number of clicks it takes to hit. And then we're gonna show you how to manipulate the ballistic coefficient and the speed to get a bell curve that gets this thing hitting on target every time. That's gonna get you ready to go to the field and ready for hunting season. 400 yards, it's saying 4.5 minutes to be on target. I'm gonna run this up to 4.5 minutes. We'll see where we're at. 400 yard. We're gonna shoot 2 shots here just to check for our group, see where we're at. Oh, we knocked the target over. Great. It was just a hair left of the bullseye. We'll have to go set that back up. Bullseye. You know, we're getting some wind. You can see the dust push off to the right there that didn't have it at the first shot. I'm not so worried about left and right at this point in time. I'm worried about the data going out that 4.5 minutes at 400 yards is what's correct. So, and that's good. That's spot on. That's within MOA and really good group. So that'd definitely be a dead deer. So we're gonna verify that as 4.5 MOA and verified. All right, we're gonna go to 500 yards. 7.1 MOA, so there's 7. If we go to 7.25, the difference between 7 and 7.25 is only 1.25 inches at that distance. So I'm gonna round it down, go with 7 MOA. We're gonna shoot 2 shots and see where it's at with height. If we realize we need to adjust, and we'll go from there. Well, height is good. Good. That's a 3-inch bullseye. Your one's right on the edge, so we're probably about a 3.5-inch group at 500 yards, which is sub MOA. That's what we're looking for. The data's right. I'm going to say 7.0 minutes is accurate at 500 yards, and we're going to verify that. So I like to use the Zeiss range finding binoculars for one plain simple reason, that if you can get range, it's giving you 100% corrected data. And what I mean by that is when we've plugged in all the verified stuff that we know, the ballistic coefficient, the height of the scope, the bullet type, the weight, all of that other stuff, these range finding binoculars calculates for angle, uphill and downhill. It also takes into consideration barometric pressure, humidity, all this stuff. So when you actually hit this button in range, it is giving you 100% corrected data once you have verified and it's all right. So right now we're just using it for initial information. Regardless of which one you utilize, they all have some form of app on the phone that does this. It's a ballistic, it's called applied ballistics. It takes into consideration all this information, calculates it with the distance, the weight of the bullet, the drag of the bullet, which is the ballistic coefficient, and how much is that, should that drop based on that information. And it's giving us initial information. That's what we're doing right now, and we're going to ultimately build out a 100% corrected chart based on this information. But you got to have a starting point someplace, and there's lots of apps out there. You can try it. I just like the Zeiss. It's been proven over the years, and I really like it. That'll work. Edge of bullseye. Height's perfect. Those are probably 3 inches apart. One's right on the edge of the bullseye, the other one's a little bit farther. What we're seeing with these groups, even though they're only 2-shot groups out there, they're still MOA. It's telling us that we made the right decision choosing these Federal Fusion 175s. They're still holding really good groups out there. And you know what? I would feel really comfortable. We're out to 600 yards right now, shooting a deer, elk, antelope, you name it, at that distance. This thing is spot on. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Get settled in here. Over it.
It was over the top right corner.
Okay.
Right of the target.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That was a minute. We will hold it at 2 minutes. You ready?
Yes, sir. Bullseye.
Wow. 2 minutes. 15 and a half.
Touching.
All right, so initially it said we needed to be at 16 and a half minutes at 800 yards. We shot over the target, went ahead and adjusted down. It's 15 and a half minutes to be on bullseye at that distance. But what we have, little bit of wind, I would say probably 4 miles an hour here. You can see at 600 yards, you can see the flag sticking straight out, and at 800 yards, the flag is almost doing nothing. I held 2 full minutes of wind, so I was actually holding off of the steel target. That is 16 inches of drift to put that onto the bullseye there. But like I said, we're looking for up and down so we can correct the data. So we know now that at 800 yards, it is holding its speed better than what it says, so it's not slowing down as much as the data said. So we're gonna change the BC. We're gonna increase our BC on that. That is gonna give us an actual hit on our data, showing 15 and a half minutes at 800 yards, and that's what we mean by adjusting our data to get it right where we're hitting on target.
That black dot up there is where we were shooting from. And this is our 800-yard target with corrected data.
Well, this is our 800-yard target with corrected data, which was 15 and a half minutes with this 7mm PRC. Obviously, I mean, this is quarter MOA type of groups. Basically what we shot at 200 yards. Figured I held a little bit for wind. Wind's blowing pretty good out here. But this is what we look for. This is why you come out, validate all your data, get everything dialed in. You know, it takes a lot of ammo, takes a lot of time, everything else, but now you have the knowledge to be able to do that. And for anybody that doesn't want to do that, I do set up about 25 to 30 guns a year. Feel free to reach out to me, and see if I have some availability, have you come out here and shoot personally, get your gun dialed in. But it's more fun to get your own gun dialed in, spend the money on ammo. You're gonna learn so much more than if you buy a $15,000 gun from somebody that all this stuff is already done. You don't learn the stuff. Come out here, do it on your own. You're gonna be a way better shooter in the long haul.